Good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. Today we'll be looking at Psalm chapter 125. First, we'll have a brief overview of the psalm before we delve into a small point of reflection. So, turn to your Bibles, either physical or digital, whichever's to your comfort, and let's get into it. First, we'll have a brief overview of the psalm. This psalm, from verses 1 to 3, the psalmist talks about his trust in God and how we feel secure in God. And in verse 3, he says how he has assurance against the wicked. And from verses 4 to 5, the psalmist gives a prayer for blessing and judgment for the wicked, and he is asking for peace. So, looking at the psalm, the key verse we'll be focusing on is verse 1, which is, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved but abides forever." So, it's a very simple thing for us to take away, but a very hard thing for us. And that is to trust in the Lord with the extent. Here the psalmist is saying it's like a mountain. Now we all know trees and how trees and the roots go to the ground. Especially the bigger the tree, the deeper and the larger the roots grow. So here the psalmist is not just saying trees. Now imagine a big tree, how difficult it would be for someone to uproot it. Your trust should not just be like a tree. Here the psalmist is saying that our trust should be to that of Mount Zion. Now imagine a mountain. We know how deep a mountain goes. It's basically part of the earth, a mountain. You cannot just uproot a mountain. You have to break it off. And the psalmist here is reminding us that our trust in the Lord should be similar to that of the trust which is like a Mount Zion to the earth, which is our trust in the Lord should be like Mount Zion connected to the earth. It should be solid. It should be stronger, way stronger than how a tree is rooted to the ground. And trust in what? Main thing from this psalm is that we should trust in Lord for our salvation. We should trust that the work for salvation, for our salvation, has been done and has been paid for by Christ. So I like to pivot and look at a different verse where it says that Christ may dwell in your hearts. Ephesians 3:17 to 19, where it says that Christ may dwell in your hearts by faith, that ye being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is breadth and length and depth and height, and to know the love of Christ which passes knowledge, and that you might be filled with all the fullness of God. So, this psalm, in a nutshell, is telling us to trust in God like a mountain rooted to the earth, which is unbreakable. And I want to remind you, based on this psalm, is that trust in the God regards to your salvation. Don't trust in your own works. Don't trust in our own actions. Don't trust in human capabilities. Trust that God has done the work for your salvation, and trust in Him that you have been saved through the work that Christ has done in the cross. Thank you.